Sorry. So last class we have done the chemical reactions. So chemical reaction of metal with water, first with oxygen. What happens when metal react with oxygen? Switch on your video. You have to switch on your video whenever the class time. Yes, Anish, what happens when the metal reacts with oxygen? Anish, are you there? Anish is not there. Manisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, reaction with oxygen.
It forms metal oxide.
Metal oxide. Nature of metal oxide?
Basic in nature.
Basic in nature. Non-metals reacts with oxygen. Bhavya? Non-metals reacts with oxygen.
Yes, ma'am, it forms non-metallic oxide.
Non-metallic oxide. Nature of non-metallic oxides?
They are acidic or neutral.
They are acidic or neutral. Jessica, which metal oxides are acidic in nature? Non-metal oxides are acidic in nature.
Carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide.
Okay, acidic. Gautam, which are not neutral in nature?
Yes, ma'am. Carbon monoxide, water.
Switch on your video. Akshaya, what do you mean by amphoteric oxides? Akshaya, are you there?
Ma'am, they show the properties of acids and bases.
Proper. That's not a proper definition. That is not the proper definition. So can you tell again properly?
The oxides which show the acidic and basic nature.
Acidic as well as basic nature. When they react with acid as well as base. They generally, when you dissolve these metal oxides into water, they do not show any changes. These oxides shows acidic nature when they react with base, and they show basic nature when they react with acid. So therefore, these shows both acidic as well as basic behavior, therefore called as amphoteric oxides. Examples, Medha?
Ma'am, sodium aluminate.
Metal oxide, which are amphoteric oxides.
Aluminium oxide.
Aluminium oxide.
Zinc oxide.
Zinc oxide, okay.
And
Third one?
Sodium oxide.
No. Rohit, third one?
Ma'am, lead oxide.
Lead oxide. Aluminium oxide, zinc oxide, lead oxide, right? Clear? Don't forget. Devyani? Which metals start floating when reacts with water? Which metals start floating when reacts with water? Don't remember? calcium and magnesium. Calcium and magnesium, when reacts with water, they start floating. Reason? Anish, reason?
Ma'am, when they react with water, they produce hydrogen ions. So when these hydrogen ions, they stick to the surface of the metals.
Not the hydrogen ions, hydrogen bubbles,
Okay,
hydrogen gas bubbles.
Hydrogen bubbles. So when they stick under the surface of the metals and they help them to float.
Yes, right. So these metals are light metals. When they react with water, they first form hydrogen gas in the form of bubbles. These hydrogen bubbles stick to the surface of the metal and makes them float. Okay. So then next, Sharad. Does copper react with water? Does copper react with water?
No, ma'am.
With steam?
Yes, ma'am.
It reacts with steam. What does it form?
Copper oxide.
Then why it is used in hot water tanks? For what reason then copper is used in hot water tanks?
It does not react with water. That's why to hold the water, it is used in hot water tanks.
It won't react. Copper won't react with any state of water. Not with chilled water, not with hot boiling water, or even not with steam. High pressure steam also it won't react. As well as it is good conductor of current. So therefore in hot water tanks, boilers, or even in geysers, we generally use copper plates, copper enclosures. Clear? Other metals we cannot use because we need a substance which should conduct current and as well as it should not react with water. And that is specifically a copper has these both properties. Copper is a good conductor of current, so it carries a current to heat the water. And when water gets heated up, it forms steam. So with that steam, there is no reaction should taken place. So copper has both the properties. So therefore, copper is used in hot water tanks or boilers or geysers. Clear? So now these are the reactions with reaction of metal with oxygen, reaction of metal with water. What happens when non-metal react with water? What happens when non-metals reacts with water? Adrika?
Ma'am,
Yes.
non-metal oxide is formed. Hydroxide, sorry. Non-metal hydroxide.
No. Mayukha? What happens when non-metals reacts with water? Yes, Mayukha? Your video, audio, both are not working. Tanushri? Yes, Tanushri? Kritika?
Yes, ma'am.
What happens when non-metals reacts with water?
It gives the metal oxide.
Non-metal will form metal oxide. You're working with Shridarsh. Yes, Shridarsh. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Every alternate day absent. What happens when non-metals reacts with water? No idea.
No, ma'am.
Very good. Aditya?
Sorry, ma'am.
Aditya Vishwas.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
What happens when non-metal reacts with water? Not getting your voice?
Oh.
Yes, Aditya. You have not written in the notebook. And it's not there in the textbook also. Samrida?
Ma'am, they are light, so they will float on water. Or they'll form
No.
non-metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released.
No. Amina?
Ma'am, they will not react.
Why?
Ma'am, because hydrogen gas is evolved, so because of the steam. So,
Yes. Why do not they react with water? Yes, anyone? Anyone else? Janvi?
Metal,
Janvi? Yes, Bhavya.
ma'am, it will form an acidic solution or a neutral solution.
No. Non-metals do not react with water. Reason is, see what is happening with water. Here, metal is reacting with water. What is happening? Which type of a reaction is taken place? Which type of a reaction has taken place here?
Displacement.
Displacement reaction taken place. Now, displacement reaction, what is necessary? That is, the metal should give electrons. So that electrons are gained by hydrogen and separated. So here, if you check out Mg has formed MgO, at that time, Mg lose electrons. Those electrons will be accepted by hydrogen, and hydrogen forms a molecule now because it got its own electrons. So it is free, it has combined with hydrogen and separated. So here the metal, the element which is reacting with water should be a electron donor. Then only hydrogen can be separated. In case of non-metals, non-metals are electron acceptors. They cannot lose electrons. They cannot give electrons to the hydrogen to separate it out. So this is the reason why non-metals could not react with water to separate hydrogen. So hydrogen cannot be separated. So they do not react with water. They only or dissolves in water, chemical reaction won't take place. They dissolve in water. That's it, and gives out hydrogen ions separate and forms the few substances only. That is carbon, not metal. Metal oxide can dissolve in water, not the metal. Metal anyhow it won't react with water. Only non-metals cannot react with water. Non-metal oxide, few non-metal oxide, that is acidic oxides only, dissolve in water and form acids because they release free H plus ions. Only dissolution has taken place, not any chemical reaction has not taken place. Clear? So write down the point. Non-metals do not react with water. So write down the point. Non-metals do not react with water. So this is the chemical property wise difference between the metal and non-metal. Metal reacts with water and form hydrogen gas, and non-metals do not react with water. Clear? The same thing happens in case of acid also. Reaction with acid. The third type of a reaction, that is reaction with acid. Dilute acids actually. Reaction with dilute acids. So metals, you have seen in this acid-base chapter. Metal reacts with dilute acid and forms metal salt plus hydrogen gas. So here also the displacement reaction taken place. Hydrogen gas is displaced by this metal. But that metal, so therefore that metal required, it should be above hydrogen in the reactivity series. Na combines with HCl, forms 2NaCl plus H2. Hydrogen gas is given out. So evolved hydrogen gas catches fire because this is also exothermic reaction. Then calcium combines with dilute H2SO4, gives out CaSO4 plus hydrogen gas is formed. Zinc combines with hydrochloric acid, produces zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas is formed. Iron also reacts with hydrochloric acid, forms iron chloride FeCl2 plus H2. So hydrogen gas will be given out whenever a metal reacts with any dilute acid. Important notes, hydrogen gas is not evolved when metal react with dilute nitric acid. I have explained this reason. Can you tell the reason? In the second chapter, I have explained this reason. Why it is so?
Because nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent, oxidizes the hydrogen formed.
Yes. So nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent, and hydrogen gas is produced, but it get oxidized to form water. So final product is water, not hydrogen gas. Clear? As reason is, as nitric acid is strong oxidizing agent. Oxidizes evolved hydrogen to water. Okay. Now itself it will first nitric acid actually decomposes to form HNO3. It itself decomposes to form water, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Immediately it will decompose to form these substances, and this oxygen combines with hydrogen and forms water. Okay, so nitric acid decomposes immediately to form water, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Actually not oxygen gas, it is a oxygen, nascent oxygen is formed. So this nascent oxygen is so strong, that means active. It's more reactive because it is in the atomic form. It is not chemically stable, so it wants to get stable. So as soon as it gets the hydrogen nearby, it combines with the hydrogen and form water. Okay, so this is when we write it is in a square bracket. That means it is a nascent oxygen. Nascent means in the atomic level, atomic state. It is in the form of atom, not in the form of molecule. So clear? Then here, non-metals do not react with any acid. Even any acid, any element in the reactivity series below hydrogen do not react with any dilute acid. Just like below reactivity series, whichever the elements are there below hydrogen, in the reactivity series below hydrogen, which elements are there? Copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum. So these do not react with any acid. Copper do not react with dilute acid, but copper can react with concentrated sulfuric acid only. Copper has the property of not reacting with dilute acid. So dilute acid, it won't react, but it can react with concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay. Further, this one has done non-metals do not react with acid. Yes, one more thing is aqua regia. So what is aqua regia? Or it is also called as royal water. So what is royal water? So royal water name itself because this liquid has the property of dissolving royal metals, that is gold and platinum. So this is a solution. This is a mixture solution, true solution of concentrated hydrochloric acid and concentrated nitric acid in the ratio 3:1. 3 parts of concentrated hydrochloric acid and 1 part of concentrated nitric acid. So 3:1 ratio is always there. So this solution, aqua regia, is a solution of concentrated hydrochloric acid to concentrated nitric acid when they are mixed in the ratio 3:1. That is we call as aqua regia or royal water. And this solution react with gold and platinum. This solution can dissolve that is react. Dissolve, that means it will react also. Chemically, it will react with royal metals, that is gold and platinum. That is aqua regia. Then fourth is reaction of metal with other metal compounds. So one metal reacts with other metal compounds. That means displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. So here metal 1 combines with metal 2 compound. Compound, that is, it can be oxide, it can be hydroxide, it can be salt solutions. Then if reactivity of metal 1 is greater than metal 2, then what will happen? Then what are the compounds? Does the reaction takes place?
No, ma'am.
Metal 1
Yes, ma'am. Here it will take place.
It is metal 1, reaction will take place. Metal 1 will displace metal 2 from its compound. Itself form the compound, that is replaced position of metal 2 by metal 1. So it will form metal 1 compound plus metal 2 is displaced. Okay, example. Example, well-known example.
Zinc and copper sulfate.
Zinc react with copper sulfate, okay, aqueous solution. It will form, this is in the solid state. So it will form zinc sulfate aqueous plus copper solid displaced out. Further,
Iron reacts with copper sulfate.
yes, right. Iron Fe, iron nail, when dipped in copper sulfate solution, which is blue in color. This was also blue in color, will change to colorless. So here iron is more reactive than copper, so therefore displaces copper. Itself form the solution of iron sulfate and copper separates. That is get deposited on the nail. Further, copper plus silver nitrate. So in this case, it should be aqueous. This substance should be aqueous, then only this can separate it out. Otherwise, displacement is not possible. So copper nitrate will be formed and silver is separated out in the solid state. Magnesium plus iron chloride. So it's a format. magnesium chloride is formed plus iron gets separated. Okay, so this way the displacement reaction takes place. More reactive element displaces the lower reactive elements from its compound. Okay. Have you completed? Example have you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is your textbook. In-text question. Third question. Read the third question first. Understood the question? Have you understood the question? I'm not asking answer. Question is clear to you? Okay. Now to solve this, first write the proper order of iron, copper, zinc and silver. A, B, C, D are able to displace iron, copper, zinc and silver from their reactions, right? So first we will arrange these elements in a proper order. So can you tell the proper order? Iron, copper, zinc and silver. Can you tell the reactivity series? Which element is placed at the topmost?
Zinc,
Zinc.
And line items.
After that?
iron,
Iron,
copper,
copper,
silver.
silver. Now check, A has the property, it cannot displace iron but can displace copper. So where the A will be present? Copper is able, A is able to displace copper. That means A should be above copper, but it cannot displace iron. That means it should be present below or above iron?
Below.
Below iron. So above copper and below iron. That means it should be present here. So A is present in between copper and iron. Right? Now B able to displace iron. That means B is above iron, but it cannot displace zinc. No reaction with zinc. That means it cannot displace zinc. So where is the B present?
Below
Between
zinc.
zinc and
Below zinc but above iron. That is B is present at this position. Right? Now C, no reaction with iron, no reaction with copper, no reaction with zinc, but displaces silver. So where is C present?
Between copper
Below
and silver.
silver.
Between copper and silver. And where is D present? No reaction with any one of them.
Below silver.
It will be below silver because it cannot display silver as well. That means it should be below silver. So now you got the this one position of B, A, C, D.
Yes.
A, B, C, D's position you got now. So now answer this 3 questions. Which is the most reactive metal out of A, B, C, D?
B.
B is at the topmost, so B is most reactive. What would you observe if B is added to solution of copper 2 sulfate? Only see this and then tell. Don't check now this table. This table gone. What will happen? B is added to copper sulfate solution.
It will displace copper.
It will displace copper and itself form sulfate. Arrange the metals A, B, C, D in the order of decreasing reactivity. Decreasing reactivity. B, A, C, D. Right? So whenever you are writing decreasing or increasing order, you have to write in this order and you have to show the arrows. This sign, greater than, lesser than sign you have to show. It's clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now other questions. Now write down this part then. This answer right now. First from the beginning you can write down. Index questions. Why is sodium kept immersed in kerosene oil? What is the reaction? What is the reason? Why sodium kept immersed in kerosene?
Ma'am, it reacts vigorously with oxygen.
Okay. So therefore it is not placed in air. Then we can store in water. That means we can store in water, right? Is it possible?
It reacts vigorously with water as well.
So sodium reacts vigorously with oxygen as well as with water. In water, evolved hydrogen gas catches fire easily. So therefore, we cannot store sodium in water as well as in air. So to prevent mishappening, that is accident, it has to be stored under kerosene. Right answers, Rohit. Write equations for the reactions of iron with steam. Iron with steam is, what happens when iron reacts with steam? What does it will form? Kritika, what happens when iron reacts with steam?
Ma'am, it forms iron oxide and hydrogen.
Formula of iron oxide?
Fe3O4.
Fe3O4. What is Fe3O4? What is Fe3O4? What is Fe3O4? Fe3O4 is not a compound. Yes, Bhavya?
It's FeO dot Fe2O3.
It is a mixture of both the oxides of iron. Iron forms only two oxide, that is one with valency 2 is FeO and with valency 3 is Fe2O3. So the mixture of both of them is called Fe3O4. Okay. Calcium and potassium with water, what it will form? Calcium will form
Calcium hydroxide and hydrogen.
calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Okay. And potassium?
Potassium hydroxide, hydrogen and heat.
Potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas plus heat also. Then which gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to reactive metal? Which gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to reactive metal?
Hydrogen gas.
Hydrogen gas. Write the chemical reaction when iron reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. So what does it will form? Iron with sulfuric acid forms
Ferrous sulfate and hydrogen gas.
ferrous sulfate and hydrogen gas, right? What would you observe when zinc is added to a solution of iron 2 sulfate? Write the chemical reaction that takes place. Zinc with iron 2 sulfate. Just now you have written reaction. No, you are not written. Zinc plus FeSO4 will form
Zinc sulfate and iron.
zinc sulfate and iron get displaced out. Okay. Fine. Further. Is it clear? Everyone done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next part we have to learn is how metals and non-metals react, combine. So when we see a compound, in a compound, metal and non-metals combine together. NaCl, sodium and chlorine. Sodium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal. They combine together. Then copper chloride, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride. You can take magnesium oxide, calcium oxide. So all these compounds are formed when a metal react with non-metal. Even calcium sulfate, CaSO4. SO4 is a non-metallic ion and Ca is metallic ion. So they combine together to form CaSO4. So whenever a metal combines with non-metal, the binding formed between these two metals is called as ionic bond. So we have to learn further the chemical bonding. So chemical bond, that is the bond is formed between two atoms, is called as chemical bond. That is, a force of attraction is created when two metal atoms come closer. Two atoms. It can be a metal atom, non-metal atom. It can be ions. So whenever two particles combine together, attach with each other with a strong force of attraction, then it is called as chemical bond. Now these chemical bonds are of different types. So one of the very basic chemical bonds that you have to learn this year, that is, one is ionic bond or electrovalent bond, and the second one is covalent bond. So chemical bonds, basic chemical bonds right now you are learning. There are two types of chemical bonds. One is ionic and the second one is covalent. So chemical bond, the bond present between particles which hold them tightly, So that is ionic bond. This is the type of bond is formed between two particles when one atom completely transfers electron to the other. So when complete transfer of electrons takes place between two atoms, and due to complete transfer, then that will not be in the form of atom left out. So the element will not be, that particle will not be in the form of atom, because one has lost electron and another one has gained electron. Complete transfer, that means one atom loses electron and the second atom gains those electrons. Then that is we call as ionic bond. So because ions are formed between there. So ionic bond is formed between two atoms when one atom lose electron and the second atom gain those electrons. So when one atom loses electron, what will happen? Will it be atom? Will it be an atom? Then what it will be?
Positively charged ion.
Positively charged ion, because it has lost electron. Now it started carrying a charge of 1 or 2 or 3 positive charge. So that will form positively charged ion. And when the another atom has accepted those lost electrons, so what it will form? Negatively charged ion. Now there are two particles are formed. One is positively charged and the second one is negatively charged. So what will happen between them? They get attached with each other. They apply force of attraction on each other because these are oppositely charged particles are closer. So when two oppositely charged particles are closer, they attach with each other with a very strong force of attraction. And that force of attraction forms a bond between them which combines those two ions together. So that bond is called ionic bond. This is the bond between ions. So therefore ionic bond, force of attraction between the ions which hold them together stronger. So that bond we call as ionic bond. Clear? And the second bond, that is a covalent bond, is formed by sharing of electrons. So when two atoms share electron, they cannot give. One is not completely giving the electrons and second one is not completely gaining those electrons. What will happen here? There is a sharing of electrons takes place. So they cannot completely lose or they cannot completely gain. What they do in that case, they will share the electrons between them. So due to sharing of electrons, those electrons should attach to both of them. So the electrons will revolve around both the atoms because they are shared electrons. So those shared pair of electrons should revolve around each particle. So therefore, in that case, the atoms should combine together, should come closer. Then only those electrons will roam around both the atoms. So in that case, whatever the force of attraction is formed, which makes them stay together, that is called as covalent bond. Okay. So ionic bond is formed between metal and a non-metal, and covalent bond is formed between two non-metals only. Are you able to understand the difference? So ionic bond, the bond between the ions. Ions are formed by complete transfer of electrons. Bond formed by complete transfer of electrons between atoms, due to which atoms converted into ions oppositely charged. The force of attraction is created between oppositely charged particles, which hold them tightly packed, which hold them tightly. Such bond is called ionic bond. Okay. This bond is formed between metal and a non-metal.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, this week which topics test do we have?
This week, here I need to check out. Again, the same, all four chapters together. Science. Only science test. First, second, light and life. Chemical equation, acid base, light and life. 30 marks again. Okay, you completed this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now the bond formation and electron dot structure, we have to check in this part that we will take tomorrow. Next class, not tomorrow. Next class we will do that. Okay, we have to do the ionic electron dot structure of a formation of the compounds. Ionic compounds. In this chapter, we have to learn ionic compounds, ionic bonds. And the next chapter, the fourth chapter, carbonyl compounds, we have to learn covalent compounds. Okay. We'll start maths then now.